ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H.Figuarts unboxing and review video. Now today, we are going to be taking a look at none other than Goku from the upcoming Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. Now, we recently reviewed Piccolo. I really liked him. But this one was the figure I was most excited for in the line. It's a new stock standard base form Goku, and it looks like they have done a couple of tweaks, especially with the faceplates. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They have 12-month installment plans and a points-based reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe and bell notification icon? Plus the join button for more info on Justin's Collection Plus, the channel membership. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here we have the box art, and it is done in the usual Figuarts style. A big open window on one side showcasing Goku himself, an image of him in full color, plus a bunch more in black and white on the front and side of the box. On the back, you have a bunch of product shots showcasing various poses and accessories. Speaking of accessories, I don't expect this guy to come with a ton. Now, Piccolo was a relatively stripped back release, so that's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to see here. I would have loved to have seen a bunch of effect pieces, because as you all know, I love my effect pieces. But nevertheless, Goku is very clearly the star of the show here. But potentially not the star of the movie. What we are going to do now though is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Here we have all the parts and pieces, and unfortunately once again we don't get any effect pieces, nor do we get a Tamashii stage display base. At the very least, we get a bunch of different faceplates, and they are all new. I like the range of expressions, the paint application and the printing are crisp and clean, plus the expression lines are now a lot more prominent. Don't worry, we will be checking them all out on the figure a little bit later. We do also get the full array of martial arts and ki blasting pose hands with some actual sculpted in nail detail, and some wrinkling on the back of his fingers. What we are going to do now though is get Goku himself out here and take a closer look. Here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And right off the bat, yeah, that's very clearly Goku. But is this different enough from the million other versions of Goku to warrant picking it up? Well, that's a question for you. For me, I was already in. I love the new cartoony 3D aesthetic of Dragon Ball Super superhero, still a mouthful no matter how many times you say it, and that's why I was all in when I saw this figure. The slightly lighter orange with the shading and that really nice saturated blue. Yeah, it checked a lot of my boxes. Now, he doesn't come with Super Saiyan head sculpts and blast effects, which is a darn shame. But if you want a stock standard base form Goku, like I said in the unboxing segment, this one could absolutely be that for you. What we are going to do now, though, is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. Here we have him up close and personal. And by all means, stop me if you've seen any of this before. This guy is pretty much all reuse. It's Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, and that's not a bad thing. I really like that figure. But if you were expecting a ton of new stuff going in, then you could potentially be a little disappointed. Starting off with the head sculpt, I really like it. I do prefer the more sharp and pronounced lines on the faceplate. We will be trying out a few more options in just a second. Now, unfortunately, there is a skin tone mismatch between this upper portion of his torso and his neck. It's because they decided to paint this rather than painting the rest of it. Now, it's going to be up to you to decide if that's a deal breaker. For me, from a distance, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Now, he does have a little bit of shading just above his belt. I know, it's a bit of a weird place to put it, and the same thing can be said for the shading at the base of the legs, considering there is no shading whatsoever on his back. Some people have complained and said it doesn't really make sense to put it there, but for me, I'd rather have some shading than none. And I think it looks really good. Call me crazy, but this might just be my new favorite Goku. The base color of orange is a little bit lighter, plus the same thing can be said for the blue. I can't tell if there's any shading on the blue sections, but it is rather sharply painted, especially for this front shirt piece. You do have his logos front and back, which do look a little bit more desaturated. The colors are slightly more muted, which to me absolutely adds to the aesthetic. I know some people want it to stand out a little bit more, but this absolutely floats my boat. His belt is articulated, and it is a rubbery plastic, so it should get out of your way when it comes to posing. Down here for the legs, a bunch of wrinkles have been sculpted in. We've seen all of this before, and his boots do have that crisp red line running down the front, and some fully sculpted and painted soles. As for the other faceplate options, the Screaming Mouth plate might just be my personal favorite. It adds a ton of personality and a bit of drama to your posing. For me, this is the one I'm more than likely going to go with in the display. Then again, this quietly confident eyes off to the side with subtle smirk faceplate is also a contender. I really like the way it looks. It's slightly more dynamic with his eyes off to the side, and it can definitely add, once again, a ton of personality to your posing. And lastly, we have Goku, the lovable goofball. The big wide open eyes, the cheesy grin, or the slightly awkward grimace expression, it all depends on your posing. Now for me, I don't think I'm going to go with this one, but at the same time, I do still appreciate the option. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, Superhero Goku, and Superhero Piccolo. Now let's get the elephant out of the room first. Yeah, I was wrong. I said this Goku was 100% reuse, and it isn't. The shirt section is entirely new. It sits a lot lower now, exposing more of the blue, and I really like that. The blue is lighter, and so too is the orange for the gi. Whereas Saiyan Raised on Earth is just overall way more saturated. The skin tone is different between the two. That's going to be down to personal preference. For me, Superhero takes the win. The boots are also a different color, a little bit more vibrant on Superhero, and they've swapped the yellow for red. As for Piccolo, he pairs up really nicely here. He's taller, and that smooth 3D animated aesthetic does blend in really well with Kakarot. But in saying that, if you wanted to use Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, that could technically still work as well. Just going over articulation. Now bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I am willing to go. Now starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a ball joint at the base of the head and a hinge and swivel. Looking forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. You are also getting a little bit of movement out of the base of the neck. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow that does get you past 90, and a hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso is on multiple ball joints, one at the midsection and another at the waist. Crunching forward, going back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs will kick forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee that does get you way past 90, a ball joint down here for the ankle, plus toe articulation. Just wrapping up on the Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Superhero Goku. Going into this, yeah, I was super excited. How could I not be? It's a new S.H.Figuarts Goku. He's my favorite character in all of Dragon Ball. And this one might just be my new favorite base form Goku. Now, in saying that, it's not perfect. It doesn't come with any interchangeable transformation head sculpts, it's just base form, and he doesn't come with any effect pieces. At the very least, I was hoping for a flight stand, but I guess that's just too much to ask. Now, the head sculpt here is really good. I love the faceplate options, the articulation is, as you would expect, the same as Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, and there is a little bit of shading here. But it's all going to be down to personal preference. Saiyan Raised on Earth is still a really good figure, and he is relatively easy to find. So it's all going to be down to the aesthetic. If you like the color scheme here and the shading, then this one's the one to go with. If you don't, then simply pick another. There are a bunch of options. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They have 12-month installment plans and a points-based reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe and bell notification icon, plus the join button for more info on Justin's Collection Plus, the channel membership, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.